Hello IOD community, welcome back to another DIY tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super cute holiday Frosty sweet shop tray to decorate your home for a more festive feel for the upcoming holidays. As usual, you can find any of the items used today either in the description below or in the accompanying blog post. For any IOD products, visit our website, ironorchiddesigns.com, and click the red Where to Buy button in the top right-hand corner to find your nearest in-person or online stockist. To begin, we are going to use a white chalk paint to cover the 16 by 12 wooden tray. We took about 2 coats of this and make sure that you allow time to dry between each coat. Don't forget that there are a lot of different types of paints and brands. Your stockist is a wonderful resource for finding out which type and brand of paint is best for you. Once your paint is fully dry, we can get into the stamping. We decided on a candy cane border with festive snowmen and signage in the middle. To get started with your border, begin with the corners. In keeping the candy cane theme, we used red ink, the IOD tomato ink, for this part. The reason we want to start in the corners opposed to the sides is to assure a cohesive composition. This basically just means by stamping on the corners first, it helps guide us on where the sides need to align afterwards to avoid spacing or misalignment that could potentially be distracting. If you are a beginner to stamping or you are still just trying to learn the best techniques, head on over to the Stamping 101 on the IOD website. Apply an even layer of ink onto your stamp and hover it over the board while you make sure your corners are lined up correctly. The goal is to make sure your straight edges, where you're going to connect the long pieces of the candy cane border, aren't crooked. Go ahead and pull out your stamping masks because those are going to be a huge lifesaver. Decide where you're going to start and place the mask over the connecting corner. Take your straightway candy cane and line it up to the very edge of the thin mount so you have the best control and you can get it right up to the edge of your tray. Line up as best you can with the first corner and then press firmly as you connect to your second corner. Go ahead and do this and continue around the whole tray, moving the mask as needed. You can use a thin mount for this like we did here. We love using thin mounts because you can see if the stamp is in a straight line so that each side is matching and cohesive. When you have decided where you want your stamp to go, commit, don't shift, and apply even pressure for each corner. Stamping borders can be a little bit intimidating, but don't worry. If you make a mistake, it's no problem. Just paint over what you're not happy with and try again when your paint is dry. In our case, we went a little bit high on the curve of the tray and it would have meant a crooked border, which is obviously not what we're going for. Just keep your white paint and brush handy so there's no pressure and you will do great. As Sarah and I were stamping, we realized that it might be helpful if you have a pencil handy just to take the edge of your thin mount and connect with a straight line from corner to corner. Unfortunately, we only had pens around and the black ink would have shown through the red ink, so we skipped it, which is fine. It's just another helpful tip for keeping your lines straight and pieces connected correctly in case that's something that you want to try to help guide. Now, this is my favorite part of the tutorial, is where you can get a little bit creative. We chose the Frosty Sweet Shop stamps with black ink. We decided to put 2 snowmen at the bottom with the Frosty Sweet Shop sign on top. It's also an important tip to remember to map out where you want your stamps to go before you ink them up so that you have an idea of the composition you are going to achieve. We decided to stamp the snowmen and the sign in black ink opposed to the red because we wanted a little bit of contrast. It just draws your eye to the snowmen and less to the candy cane. Even though the candy cane serves as a super cute accent, we do want the snowmen to be the center of attention for this project. Remember, these tutorials are simply for inspiration and to give you guys ideas of what you can put into your home and to make you more confident in your creative process. You can choose any colors you want and you can choose any composition you want with the stamps. This is just what I chose to do. Using the black ink, we are going to place a sprig of mistletoe between the 2 snowmen. It is important to do this first because you want the mistletoe in the foreground of your candy canes. Remember, when you're masking, what you want up front and center must be placed down first. This is always very hard and confusing for me to remember, so you're not alone if you also have trouble masking. Next, we are going to switch back to red ink and grab the candy canes. Make sure your mask is on the mistletoe properly in place, and take your candy canes and only ink the top half of the candy canes. The reason we do this is because we want the illusion that the candy cane is longer than it is as a stamp. So we ink the top half and stamp only the top half. Try to keep the mask on the mistletoe the whole time. If it comes off, that's fine. Just realign it perfectly or as best you can to the stamp underneath. You're going to finish stamping the top half of the candy canes, wipe off the stamp, and then ink the bottom half of the candy canes and repeat the same process. The best part of using the stamp masks is pulling off the mask after you have everything stamped over it to reveal the magic of illusion. It is very satisfying, in my opinion, to see the final product all together. If you have been keeping up with our latest IoT tutorials, you will notice that Sarah and I love finishing these projects with a gold accent. It's funny because we're sitting there making these projects, we don't plan on putting gold on it, but once it's finished, we think and we agree that, okay, this would look a lot better if we did add a little bit of gold shimmer. Of course, this is optional, but we love a little sparkle. Who doesn't? So go ahead and take a brush and gold leaf paint to the edge of your tray, as well as the buttons of the snowmen, a few berries in the mistletoe, and a little gilding to Frosty's sign. If your tray is going to be in use, you would want to finish up with a water-based sealer, but we left ours as it is because we are just going to use it as a decoration. If you need help figuring out what brand of water-based sealer to use for this project, if you are going to put stuff on top of it, of course, make sure you head to our Iron Orchid Designs website, hit the store locator, and find a stockist near you who can help you figure out what is best for this project. And just like that, the project is complete and it is so cute. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that this holiday, festive, inspired project is going to help you make something beautiful for your home that you can be proud of and share with your family during this season. Share your creations with us over in the Facebook Creative Tribe. We can't wait to see you there, and we hope to see you back for our next tutorial.